Jobber Nation, welcome to a Wednesday night delight of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Jennifer from HR here with Wilkins and Mrblacc. I know, guys, we've been kind of tipsy topsy. Life has, gotten in the way of some things, but we are here on this Wednesday night as we are preparing for full gear. Once again, if you're not going to be in Jersey, you can come out. We'll be at Legends. Make sure to come early because AEW is a different animal and people will it will be packed by 6 o'clock. So make sure to come out if you haven't already RSVP. Some other housekeeping notes. I do want to give a special shout out to the Wrestling Realm on their 500th episode. I think it is so dope. Brian and the team, 500 episodes in. So congrats on that. I know they're recording, if not right now as we speak. They will be recording tonight, so make sure to tune in and subscribe to the Wrestling Realm. Next week we will be at Legends again for Survivor Series. So if you're not going to be in Boston, you can come out and watch it with us, which will most likely be our last viewing party of 2022. So make sure to come out. And then last,
no, it's not Survivor Series.
I said Survivor. That's what I was talking about. Good morning. Good morning. Hey guys, I was watching a live feed. Come into the family space. We're gonna be short but sweet. Before we do get started talking about this week in wrestling, I want to tell you guys about my amazing experience meeting Bianca Belair. I do want to share because it is probably should be on everybody's bucket list of things to do. Because she's by far the sweetest person, like legit, like so humble, so like welcoming. It was one of the dopest experiences in meeting a wrestler I think I've had. So, outside, what are some of y'all's like favorite? Who have you met that you were just like, yo, that was the dopest thing I've experienced? Outside of Sting, Mrblacc, because I know that one that's a top one for you. Who's somebody you guys have met and you guys have been like, yo, that was just so dope?
Nia Jax.
That was really dope. And she really embraced you, which I didn't think that was gonna happen. Because I feel like she gets a lot of guys that always like, oh my God, you're so this, you're so that. But she was so like I think if you would have asked her to pick you up, like for the picture, she would have did it.
Wow.
I was not gonna that grown woman pick me up. That was not happening.
But I'm so serious though. Like that's how comfortable their interaction was like if he was like, yo, can we do this for the picture real quick? She would have did it.
Wow. I
don't think anybody else would have did it.
No.
Okay, so yours is Nia Jax. All right, Mrblacc, who's someone you met that you was like, yo, this is the dopest thing?
Nobody?
William Regal.
Yeah.
Oh,
because you the one that got the picture. You lucky
was that was that Battle Club?
Yeah, WrestleMania, that Wednesday of WrestleMania week when it was here. Mm-hmm. Man, so much has gone on since then. Low key, like everyone has walked through the Battle Club doors. It's definitely been on the up and up. I know Savannah and Tasha are up for the tag team titles, which will be this Friday in Louisville.
Shout out to her.
So shout out to the girls. Come bring some gold home. All right, what else has been going on in this wrestling week? We start off with Friday because we always go from the week before. SmackDown, as they are preparing for War Games. We've already know that the females War Games will be focused on the Raw women, and the male War Games will focus on the SmackDown, the Bloodline versus I feel like Team UK/Europe.
Being racist.
So this, I'm not. That's where they from. How's that being racist?
Racist.
That's where they from. Is that not? Am I tripping?
Racist. Oh dang! Mad people talking to us. Oh wow. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I can't. Make sure when you are commenting, Put your name at the end of your sentence. Please and thank you. All right, so yeah, SmackDown, we had that. Oh, Gene said meeting Taker. Me too. When I met Taker, that definitely was an experience. Who met Vince? Who's the user that met Vince?
Oh, you know who I met? That was awesome. Shane McMahon.
Oh, you met Shane a few times.
Yeah, Shane is so nice.
You know, not for nothing. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was really sweet.
I mean, of course, he's a vegan, man. Of course, man.
Nah, Ziggy be in these streets. Ziggy be in the show. Oh, remember the comedy show we went to?
Oh, you talking about Dolph Ziggler?
Eons ago? Yeah. When Ziggy was on the comedy circuit.
You know who's also nice, and I know we'll talk about him later. Austin Theory.
Yes, and we will definitely get into
Speaking of
the resurrection.
If you want to see the before the fame, before the spotlights, before the NXT, description below right now. Austin Theory featuring Saul Wilkins. Description below. For the live listeners, you go right now on YouTube. For the ones who came after, thank you. Description below.
Nah, Austin Theory was definitely. Actually, you know what? Let's jump into the Austin Theory because we didn't talk last week.
Oh,
so
how's the triple threat? I mean, how was the trios match with AR Fox, the Injury Brothers?
No, it's only one brother that be injury prone, but
he calls.
No, the match was good. I mean, it's a whole bunch of high flying moves, so that's what you signed up for. I just never liked the fact that it being AR Fox's debut on Dynamite and for them to lose, it was just like.
Was it a good
and
match
I get it
for him?
He got some time in. It's hard when you got like 6 niggas in the ring. Like you can't. It is very hard to get all your shit in. So, but I definitely support AR, and I told Mikey, I said AR trained Austin Theory. Like if people don't know, so that's why like AR Fox definitely needs his flowers because he's definitely been blessing.
Did he train everybody?
The game.
Did he train basically everyone in the game in that style? Yeah, who's successful?
Not everybody, but like that whole evolve type of situation, like everybody had, went down through Theory school. I mean, AR school, which he still does. He does shows. Actually, that's what Jabari had told me when we had met him last year. That AR Fox's school, they do shows. Like I don't know if it's free, but they do like really like low key shows every Thursday out in Georgia, like just for like the neighborhood.
Oh, just like
so
and Hog. Okay.
Yeah.
But Austin Theory is like, I don't know why people hate on him, son. Austin Theory is like really good.
So let me ask you a question, big dogs. Ask you guys. Can
you speak louder?
Question. I am speaking louder. Hold on.
This nigga got one AirPod in. This nigga here.
Well, you have to understand, and that's the $1 million question. Do you think Triple H is doing a good job at Austin Theory?
I think it's fine for right now because I think he needed a reason to take the briefcase off of him. But at the same time, I feel like the crowd hates him for no reason, son.
I mean, he's getting cheap heat, which I think that's probably why the crowd isn't really, like they still see him as that bad guy. I think they've always seen him as, but I definitely think, everybody was kind of like panties in a bunch when he, cashed in on not only Seth, but also lost. But when he, this week, he really stood on his 2 feet and was like, that briefcase was an anchor. It was holding me back from really being able to really be who I want to be. And I think that was a really good way of flipping it off of him. And now you're like, I swear, Raw, the last 5 minutes, every week, like the past few weeks has been like, you don't know who's going to get jumped. Somebody's going to get hurt before the end of this damn episode. It's a melee. So Austin Theory,
SmackDown ended in a melee last week.
Everything was ending on that cliffhanger. Like, oh my god, what's happening? I don't understand that. So when Austin Theory ended Raw like that, I was just like, see, this is the Austin Theory y'all said y'all wanted. Y'all wanted somebody serious. Y'all wanted somebody that was gonna step up and not be a child. And he's made it very, he's trying to change everybody's, I think, point of view of himself as just being the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now him kind of growing into that I'm the next up, because he's Jonathan Cena 2.0. Like, that's just what it's gonna be. So, and it was so funny that somebody else had put in on the Facebook group, if you have not already subscribed or added yourself to the Jobbertears Facebook group, please do. That had mentioned that Austin Theory's promo reminded them of a ruthless aggression era.
Yeah.
So that promo, and she posted it. The promo that Edge and John Cena had right before they 6-man tag on I think it was a SmackDown, and Edge was like trying to pump John Cena up and tell him like he's next and and it was the same thing Ziggy did, and that's why Dolph Ziggler is so underrated. It's not even funny.
He's a placeholder.
Like, my man can put on so many different hats. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's kind of like the NBA. It's a lost art. Like, Dolph Ziggler is the Udonis Haslam of WWE, where you keep that man around because he keeps the old proper culture alive within the locker room. He teaches, like, remember to sell, remember to do this. He's the one that gets the young guys or the dudes coming up ready for the next level. He's the Owen Hart of this year's generation. You're going to get a good match. If you can have a good match with Dolph Ziggler, you're a problem, because he's going to bring out the best. So you need a heel, you need a face. You feel me? Dolphy is there. Dolphy is that one that give you that solid verse each and every time. Dolph Ziggler is the Nate Dogg of this game. You put him on the verse, you know that's gonna sell. That's it.
Exactly. Actually, I want to go back to SmackDown real quick. They opened up SmackDown actually really, really good, because they had the tag team title match, which was New Day, everyone's favorite feud, New Day versus the Usos, and where the Usos are now the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. So I was mad, but then I wasn't, because I understand. But I actually have a question to you guys, and I put it in the chat so I didn't forget. It was something I had to think about, was, what if there was never a New Day? If we totally remove New Day, how would the landscape of tag team wrestling in WWE look?
It would be suspect. It wouldn't be as good as it is right now. And you also gotta understand, it would be borderline non-existent. It would just be the Usos. Because there really wasn't no tag team wrestling or any factions outside the New Day for a long time.
Right. And that's what I had thought about that, because I was like, New Day kind of laid that foundation so that the Usos could do what they did, or have the opportunity to do, what they did. And I think about all the different feuds, whether it's, them in a tag team or them as singles, that wouldn't have never we would have never gotten Kofi and Randall. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten, Xavier Woods and him doing up, up, down, down, or him doing, him being King of the Ring and bringing that back. Like, there's so many small things that New Day has, like, really put their mark on the business, that even though they lost on Friday, they still have accomplished so much as a tag team.
Well, the biggest thing for New Day is giving us 2 modern day Black champions.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest accomplishment that they have done. You can argue that Big E was always supposed to be champion, but him being part of New Day really upped his brand and everything. That was one of the biggest things that New Day has done, is giving us Kofi as a champ and also Big E as a champ. them being together played a major factor of why they became champions, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think that it would affect the whole landscape of WWE, not WWE, but the whole wrestling landscape in general. Because I was talking to my future Battle Club champion, Yaya. My future champion. I hear, all right? I don't know about Steve Pena, my future champion, Yaya. We was talking. He says a lot of promoters imitate what WWE does. So imagine it won't be as much black champions in the indies if Kofi did not take off. Without the New Day, there would not be a revolution of black wrestlers. Without Kofi Mania, there would not be a Bianca Belair and a Sasha Banks at WrestleMania main eventing. Without that, we're not seeing a true WWE reign of my son, Bobby Lashley. You will not see that. You will not see that. And without the New Day, a lot of my brother mentioned up, down, down. Without that, a lot of wrestlers would have nothing to do during the pandemic. You understand? A lot of wrestlers were not able to show their personality on there in WWE. Do I think that Xavier Woods up, down, down would have been creative regardless? Yes, because that man know how to eat. But I think it would have tipped more of the indie side better. Like you would have seen the increase of more indie talent doing the up, down, down on his show because he was going to get fired. So imagine that. You've been indies. I know up, down what it is because the passion video game is too strong. But overall, the impact it had on the game, the impact it had on pop culture, the impact it had on little black kids seeing Biggie and Kofi because they're WWE champion and Bobby Lashley. So in my opinion, without the New Day, you will not see the revolution of the black wrestlers without the New Day in modern day time, in my opinion. So the New Day was the key, the catalyst to that, to put in three black brothers that weren't angry, but the sense of they're black. That's it.
Yeah,
They did the rest.
I think New Day was really um the black renaissance of wrestling. And because we didn't,
Yep.
at first everybody low key was like, "Oh, they church. Oh, they what are they doing? How's this gonna work?" And I think for themselves, they took a risk on themselves as well as working together. And as Gene had mentioned, I saw on the bottom that they really brought back alive Freebird. That wasn't used for a very long time, or people didn't know what that meant or how that worked. And New Day definitely brought that back to life. And also I think definitely helped open those doors for those black champions that now we can say with pride and knowing like we were a part of those moments and things like that. Because like I look back at even when Kofi won and that picture of Chad and MVP just like in tears, like I can't believe that I've lived to see this. It almost gave the like when Obama won kind of feel like,
Yep.
yo, this is like really happening. So I just thought it was interesting, not only did they open SmackDown this week, but that, their rivalry will be something to talk about, our kids and kids and then their kids will be talking about because they've definitely set the tone, I think, for tag team wrestling just in general. So I just thought that was a good question to ask. That was something I had on my mind. But what do y'all think about how upset Bobby Lashley has been the past 2 weeks? Man, oh man. So Bobby comes back from Saudi from a loss, but it was a smart loss. And once again, whoever produced that match, I greatly appreciate what you've done because you not only made Bobby look strong, but you gave Brock the win. So it was a win-win. So what are your thoughts on this Bobby and Brock feud? Because we're old one more match now. So what are your thoughts on that real quick?
Well, it's a blockbuster match. Hopefully they have it for Mania. That'll be the best thing going. Like Bobby and Brock Lesnar is old school wrestling mixed with modern day wrestling. They have the look, they have the size. They're both attractions. They're both really good at what they do. So you know what I mean? Like it's one of those situations where you just gotta love it.
All right, Mr. Black, any
Agree.
thoughts on your boy Bobby?
Bobby Lashley. The walking Armageddon. That's all I gotta say. Because Bible actually, like right now, just shows you that you need a Bible actually. You need that because you need to bring back like it's an attraction to me. When I see two big wrestlers meet on me, I see a bunch of in a sense of rap battle. I see the sense of two power bars going at it. Niggas who just go power bars at the bars, at the bars, at the bars. Like, yo, if you ain't ready for it, they're gonna hit you with a bar. And just seeing that Goliath matchup and a new different element to it. The first one was a bunch of that was Visism. The second one was I'm getting a mixture. And the third one could definitely be all out because it's Triple H. And just to see that the evolution, like they're brawling. I love it. Like Brock looking scared. He had a one with the UFC. Once again, it brings back the old school feel. Like you had to actually go back. Like, oh, why did that happen? It makes you actually be a student of the game. Like that match was student of the game. Like sports entertainment at its finest. The selling, the moves, everything. Like Bobby Lashley, I'm hearing rumblings, that the Hurt business might come back.
I
I'm
was
just
just
saying.
you listen. I was just about to say, how do y'all feel about if the Hurt Business end up reforming again? Because not for nothing, the past few weeks, even though they lost, Shelty's been on Raw. Said was on Raw when they was in Charlotte. So it's like,
Mhm.
and
As
I
long
don't
as they're
know,
on roster, as long as
right? And
they're on
that's the
roster,
that's actually what I want too. And then speaking about Omos, I want you guys' thoughts real quick. So Omos, right after Saudi Arabia, had went to Nigeria, went to Lagos, Nigeria for the very first time in over 15
it's
years.
Lagos or
He,
Lagos.
either or. He was in Nigeria. And while he was there, there was a WWE film crew, and they filming, parts of that for I guess a special that could be on Peacock very soon. But they also made an announcement in Nigeria with Apollo Crews as well as that next year, February 2023, I believe, they're gonna do a WWE Africa tryout
I know. I was
in
there.
Nigeria.
I know. I
So
was there.
you were at the press conference in Nigeria.
Yeah, I'm Apollo Crews. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no. But what are
Right.
your thoughts on them doing the first time they're doing tryouts in the motherland in Africa?
We're just
No,
gonna
that makes
dominate
perfect.
again.
It makes perfect sense. It's we gotta come to like real understanding that WWE is the NBA of wrestling,
Global,
and
global, global brand.
they are on a place where they're trying to expand. They see that there could be other types of superstars all across the world, and their whole point is we're gonna take the WWE model and put it everywhere else. WWE is like McDonald's. We have a way of doing things. We're gonna put it here, 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 and here, and make it work.
Yeah. Honestly, if there's another way for somebody to come up, why not? So I don't mind. Like you could put one in Haiti. WWE Haiti IET. You feel me? It'll be mad athletic and strong
Speaking
people,
of that,
but
yo, you got another week to watch Black Panther before we talk about it. I'm just letting you know that right now.
yo, y'all niggas
You
be
got you
fiending,
got
son.
7 days to
Y'all
watch
niggas
it
to
so we
watch
can
that shit
talk
opening
about it.
weekend. Y'all fiends, V. Wait, y'all can wait next week. No, y'all want to see opening weekend.
No,
Y'all some fiends.
No,
Fiends.
no,
you know why?
Fiends.
You know why you go opening weekend?
to
Because
give them
Ryan Coogler could break records as being the only black
correct
man to have
to
two
have the
European.
biggest November opening ever.
But
He's like
Yes.
but the thing about it is I'm contributing to being number one for consecutive weeks. You feel me? So I'm helping
No,
However,
WWE
this is
to make
no.
that money.
You gotta have no. It's opening weekend is the gate.
Listen,
so you
listen.
failed the black
Everybody
community.
can have a
The
good
gate.
first quarter. Not everybody can have a good fourth quarter, B. I'm a fourth quarter guy, B. I'm coming with my last little ticket sales to get over the hump.
Yo,
Because of
once
my
again,
ticket sales,
No,
I'm gonna
listen,
be
you
there
failed the
2
black
weeks in a
community.
row.
you
I am. I am. I
you
am.
have
I'm in the
7
long run.
days to watch it. Oh, we're gonna talk about it.
Damn.
We gave you
Damn.
2 weeks. We gave you 2 weeks.
First of all, last week over the weekend, I forgot. And no. I was over here celebrating my boo's birthday. All right.
Happy
So
birthday, Mariah.
see.
Absolutely.
You feel me? I
Yeah, but you
celebrate, so
should
I
have took
forgot.
her. You should have took her to go see Black Panther.
Then the next
You
day,
failed the
I had to
black
leave.
community once again. You failed the black community
Wrong with
once
you?
Listen.
again.
I'm contributing to the long run, B. You
He
see?
said
That's how
he
probably with
said
black
he's
people.
contributing to total gross revenue.
Exactly. That's probably what black people,
It
son.
doesn't
Y'all
matter.
know how to invest in that. Y'all don't invest in y'all money. You know, y'all heard nothing from Atlanta when he got the money, and then a couple months later he got the bread for the dog. I'm saying this is long-term booking right here, B.
Bro,
The
you
black
got a week.
community needed you.
You got a week, bro.
You didn't.
You could go for even a matinee. I won't even tell nobody. Just go, please.
He
I'm gonna
needed
go
your
next week.
$12. He needed your $12 to $15.
Who's paying $12
Per
for
person.
that? $6 Tuesday, dogs. AMC, dogs. Full price.
And you
movie.
couldn't do
What's
that for
wrong
him?
with you?
And you
He said you couldn't even do that. You're
I'm part
annoying.
of the growth.
Uh,
I'm part of the growth. Alright? I'm part of the next week's sales. Because when he's like,
listen,
no.
But
When he
in
has like
general,
Oscar
I
seeds,
totally enjoyed Black Panther before our pre-episode breakdown. I totally enjoyed Black Panther.
I
By the
didn't
way,
enjoy the amount of times that I shed tears. That I will say. I didn't care for that, but it was really good.
so they're beefing
also,
with a nigga that who swims, right? So
You
basically, they're
said
scared.
what?
So the main bad guy is a nigga from the sea. So they're scared of
no,
water.
you
I'm
don't
not.
understand
Nope.
the bigger
We're
picture.
not doing that.
The bigger picture of the movie is about how us people of color, black and Spanish, are
Low key
attacking
have
each
to stick
other
together.
instead of sticking together against the colonizer, aka the palm colored motherfuckers,
Yo, cause
aka
that no, okay. That he's actually said too much. Cause then I'm gonna go into it and be like, yo, I really didn't care for the Spanish nigga really trying to go against them like that. That really didn't sit well with me. But we're not gonna talk about it no more. We're gonna give Mr. Black 7 more days,
Alright.
and we good.
All I'm gonna
All right.
say is the point of the movie is to show that us people of color need to stick together against
Stick
the
together.
colonizer.
Yeah, no, for real, for real.
Because they are the problem and they are the ones who are causing destruction. So I'm about to get deep real quick before we move on back to wrestling. So there's an old story about red ants and black ants. They were thrown into it. They're thrown into a jar. The red ants and the black ants never argue, never fight each other until somebody shook up the jar. Then they started attacking each other. So the moral of the story is, it ain't the person that's next to you that you're fighting, that you should be fighting. It's the person that shook up the jar.
It's the outsiders. What a great
Exactly.
metaphor.
That white man that messed up. That reason why that Wakandas were fighting the ocean people. But you'll see the movie. You'll understand the bigger picture.
You know what? This is a great segue into we're gonna take the last half of the show and talk about our AEW predictions, talk about what's been going on.
Wait. How you feel about like WWE offering Austin another match?
If it's not against John Cena, I don't want it.
What about
If
Gargano
it's
Punk?
I just posted it because somebody else had posted Austin working out in the gym, and I was like, yo, if Austin's not working out to be an entry in the Royal Rumble or fighting Jonathan Cena in LA, I don't want it. Y'all can have that. We barely got through him and Kevin Owens. So unless he coming for a
Nah, that was
pop at
fire.
Rumble, unless he coming in for a pop for Rumble, or he's facing Jonathan Cena in LA, I signed off. There's nothing
Wait,
else to do.
is Stone Cold the only 3-time Royal Rumble winner?
Yes, I believe so.
Listen,
Randall won twice. I think everybody else won like twice. It could
I
be maybe
think that
one other person that won 3 times, but Austin for sure was like the first one to win three
I
times.
think that honestly, WrestleMania will be cool, whatever. Like if you can't do WrestleMania for him, I have to agree with you, Janelle. Royal Rumble. That pop,
It's the only way. That pop.
that
He lived
that
only
pop,
what 100 miles from San Antonio.
yeah.
It's not even. It's not a question. So it's either Rumble or Cena or nothing for me.
That is true. Like I
What about
wasn't really like
you,
that
Sir
fully.
Wilkins? Do you
I
want one
agree.
more from
No.
from?
He's only
from
won 2 Royal Rumbles.
I could have sworn he won three because he won two
Nah.
back to back, low key.
No, he won 2. And he never won them back to back.
He did it.
Or
No,
was
Let's
it
see
was
the
it a
record.
year? Was it a year
no,
in between? Because
he did. Actually, yeah, you're right. It is 3. He
yeah,
won 97, 98, and then he won in 2001.
yeah, because I think whoever put that 99, one of those that 99, I think that was when Vince won. One of
Vince.
them is
There
when
you
Vince
go.
won the Rumble.
Yeah.
Vince won in 99. 97, 98 he won. Shawn
Okay,
won.
see,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was 3 times. See, I was like, I'm not because they definitely made it because I think that was really his last run, that last Rumble he won.
Right. So honestly, I feel WrestleMania will be. I mean, let me wrong. WrestleMania, unless it's against like John's, like unless it's against someone like I personally think he should go against John Cena. I would say CM Punk before, but CM Punk too much of a
Yo, somebody else
cancer.
that I saw that earlier today, and I was just like, are we really for real? Like, I mean, maybe 15 years ago,
Yeah, but his
but
reputation is
right
shot.
now, that's not. I mean, if we're talking about fantasy, matches, and I guess for the person that may want that, but that don't look.
But the thing
Phil's
about
still in
it
the
is,
contract,
but the
so
thing about it is, CM Punk, he's wrestling good, but he's not gonna be blockbuster like Stone Cold versus The Rock. Stone Cold versus The Rock, you bringing back old fans from the PG era, Ruthless Aggression era, the Attitude era. You bringing back fans of like John Cena movie. You bring back Stone Cold fans of now. Everybody will come and watch that match. Stone Cold versus
nigga
John
said
Cena.
the
That's
Condemned versus the Marine. The Condemned versus the Marine. I'm sleep.
but
No,
nah.
I
But
think so. So honestly speaking, I know you said that he. I don't like Punk, but him coming. Let's say if he would have popped at the Rumble right after that AEW situation, that would break the internet.
That would turn wrestling upside down. Legit. And I don't
but which
know
one's the
whether
bigger
it'll be in
draw
a good
though?
way or a bad way.
Hmm?
But which was the bigger draw? CM Punk versus Stone Cold or John Cena versus Stone Cold?
CM Punk versus Stone Cold
Why?
Really? You think so?
because
I
it,
think
it,
if
it's the
Punk never
controversy
went to
CM
if
Punk.
Punk never went to AEW, then I would have
Agree.
agreed with
I
that.
agree.
I
I agree.
think because of the everything that has happened, I think even those fans that were WWE fans that love CM Punk and that was watching AEW for him, I think they were even turned off from that stuff. So I
Yeah.
don't know necessarily if yeah, like if it was before AEW, then I would have co-signed, but I just want Austin and Cena. I want Austin and Cena because those are two generations. Like
And, and besides, like I think that Austin versus Cena will be a better match because CM Punk
they
is
both got 5 moves of doom, so they be all right.
And I feel like CM Punk. I mean, John Cena. That man recovered after having surgery after like 6 months. So I'd rather have a man that's built like a tank taking care of one of my legends than CM Punk who's built like Kai. Like you blow on him, oh my elbow, oh my knee, oh my back. I'm just
Speaking
saying.
That's because
about
CM
Punk,
Punk don't work out.
wait.
What?
Speaking about Punk though,
Wait, wait,
what is your?
wait. You said what?
Because he don't work out. That's what he said.
You think so? Why?
I don't think CM Punk works out, bro.
So you think that he just wake up, does yoga, and go to work
I think he barely does yoga.
He probably walks with the dog,
and complain about wrestling?
but he had enough to go do commentary for that MMA show.
I mean, listen,
I said, listen,
it's better
I'm all
being
for getting a
home.
check. I'm all for getting a check. So good
But
for
nah,
you,
just to,
Phil.
I mean, just put a bow in it. I feel like CM Punk. Yes, I agree with you. Know, like if he had never came back, the mystique of him would be still there. But now, since everybody know what he did, how he did it, like how he exited and stuff like that, it's like, nah, you want to bring him back so soon? Maybe next year, yeah. But this year, nah. The bigger match where the money is, La Cena and my son, Stone Cold Chill.
Now it would, and now I will say it would be funny if not this year, but the next year that they give Punk the WrestleMania match that he's owed. That I would laugh at. That would be
Out of
funny to
spite,
me.
out of spite, he wins it
Yeah,
and he
just be
lose.
like, yeah, let him main event WrestleMania. Let him win the Rumble. Let him main event WrestleMania.
And lose.
Cause hopefully by then they ain't two belts on one person. So, but all right, let's talk for once again for the next half of the show. And thank you once again those that are watching on the live feed. We appreciate you guys. Make sure to write comments as we talk about. We're gonna get into AEW Full Gear and some good old predictions. Since once again, Full Gear is this Saturday in at the Prudential Center. So once again, if you're not gonna be in Jersey, come on by the Legends, come watch and hang out with us for one of our last viewing parties of the year. So let's talk about. I want to actually start off talking about this championship eliminator tournament thing that they like to do
Oh
to
wait,
find
what
a
about
number
the
one
new match
contender.
type what about the new match type
Oh, on
tournament that
NXT.
came up with?
Okay, real quick. So on NXT, HBK had annoued that on at NXT's next premium live event, which is Deadline, there'll be a new match called what's it called? The Iron what's it called? Iron something match classic.
It's like a mixtape, called a mixtape name like Survivor the Fittest, some shit like that.
Kind of
Hold on.
is somebody while you pull up the actual name of what it is. Somebody had wrote on the Facebook group that that it's very similar to a old ECW match that had happened. So basically, the premise is I think it's
Iron
what
Survivor match.
there you go. So I
So,
think it's five guys.
I'll say it's there will be two matches at Deadline, one for men and one for women. Both matches are consist of 5 challengers. Two competitors will start, with another competitor entering every 5 minutes until all competitors are in the match. The person with the most falls, pinfalls, or submission with the falls in 25 minutes wins. A pinfall will score a competitor 1 point, and the person who takes the pinfall will go into the penalty box for 90 seconds. Like this is hockey.
Hockey.
It was reported earlier on Tuesday that WWE has filed a trademark for Iron Survivor Challenge on November 10th. Deadline will be NXT's final premium live event of the year. It will take place the same day as ROH Final Battle.
However, Final Battle will be in the afternoon because Final Battle actually will be in Texas. So because of the time difference, it actually will be in the afternoon, and then NXT Deadline will be in the evening. So it is the same day, it's just different times.
Triple H treats AEW the same way Jay-Z treats Nas.
Don't you
Like
respect
you
Nas
fake
like that?
friends? You fake friends?
No, because
Don't respect
every
Nas
time
like that.
Nas drops an album, Jay-Z drops an album. Anytime Nas
I
does
will
something,
say, if Hov decides to just whip out an album right now and go on tour,
But
like
I
even Nas mentioned it. Last week, Nas put out this track list for his album, and then that same exact day, Jay-Z posted a picture with his Grammys.
well, the Grammy nominations actually came out I think yesterday, and Beyonce is leading with I think 9 nominations for Grammys this coming year. But with her, with her 9 nominations, she's tied now with Jay-Z with the most Grammy nominations in history.
So
What type of bullshit is that?
I actually listened to Renaissance. That's the album's name, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I had to teach a class, and I needed some songs. So I was like, let me see what this album's about. Let me pick some songs from here. Nigga. I didn't think that album was for me, but that album was for
It's a bop.
That album was amazing. I was in the streets dancing like it's a Disney video. Like we're in a musical. I was bopping my head. I was doing a couple of two steps.
But the dope part about her being nominated, low key, is literally I feel like every song got nominated. Like it's you know how normally when you get nominated for Grammy, it's for like either one song or your album. Beyonce's non-nominations, at least 60% of them, in every category, it's a different song off the album.
Yeah,
so she's a different. That's a different type of character right there. Like totally different. But okay, I think going back to NXT real quick, and then we'll switch gears and talk about Full Gear, and then we'll be done. I think it's a very interesting concept. I think for NXT, and I think it being like kind of like the Iron Man, last man standing type of situation. Mm-hmm. I think it fits, the demographic. I think it fits the vibe of NXT. I find it very interesting who it will be to come out of that, because there's no real like advantage when you think about it, because you start, even if you're the first two, you've been in it's 25 minutes. You're the first two, you either have been in the ring the longest, so by the time the last person comes in, you're gassed and you may not have as many pins. And then the same where the last person comes in and only have 10 minutes to get as many pins as they can. So it's a very interesting, it's like a remix, I feel like, to Elimination Chamber. So it's really, really cool. It's really outside of the box. I look forward to seeing it. December 10th, NXT deadline. Shout outs to once again Mandy Rose. I think she's the third longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. So that's exciting. For her, Braun Breaker retained against Von Wagner this week on NXT. And it looks like Apollo Crews is going to be the next person to challenge Braun Breaker for the NXT title. So stay tuned. Yeah, look, I'm excited for that. All right, AEW Full Gear. We're going to be there all night, guys. So just get ready.
Why do they do it, son?
I don't know. I really don't. The pre-show, once again, these matches, they haven't announced what's going to be on the buy-in, or if any of these are going to be on the buy-in.
Buy-in, my niggas.
No, but my nigga, there could be some of these things that's on the buy-in and we just don't know yet. But I want to actually talk about, as I was saying, the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament situation, where they have Ethan Page just won on Dynamite, so he's in the finals, and he's gonna either go against Lance Archer versus Ricky Starks. The winner of that match is gonna go against Brian Cage, and then the winner of that match will go against Ethan Page to be the number one contender for the world title. So let's just hypothetical. With MJF most likely becoming the new AEW World Champion after Saturday, out of the names I named, so Ethan Page, Starks, Archer, or Brian Cage, who out of that bunch should be the first one to challenge him? Because the winner of the Eliminator is going to get the title shot at Winter is Coming in December.
What's the point of that? This is absolutely lazy booking, and I'm gonna tell you why. So you just finish off with your banger. You're gonna finish off with a banger match. You're gonna have one of your pillars of your company, 9 out of 10, probably win the title from Jon Moxley. Moxley, who has been literally your fucking workhorse in the company, because he was supposed to go on vacation, and then
and Punk fucked that up for him.
So
Punk got selfish.
He ends up, having the title and really working the title and doing all this what he's been doing. So then you have MJF win the title. You have this elimination tournament. Let's be honest, nobody cares about tournaments. Tournaments have never been popular.
You don't care about tournaments.
No,
you don't care about tournaments.
Most of the time people don't care about tournaments on the independents because tournaments don't have no storylines most of the time. You can't put together a storyline. Now you have
Yes, you
winter is
can.
coming, so you basically just don't just.
So
There's nothing that's connecting.
in that part, I agree with you. I will disagree with the tournament thing because I like what they're doing on SmackDown with the World Cup thing that they're doing.
Cute.
It's a cute kind of concept, and it highlights some like people that just got there and then people that's been there. So I think
I
depending
don't
on
like that
how,
either. That shit is not cute.
no, but that's just you, and that's okay.
Exactly.
But
That's you.
it's just tournaments. Tournaments to me aren't the greatest thing in the world. The only tournament I've actually have been invested in because they made you invested in the tournament was King of the Ring. Because growing up, King of the Ring was if you become King of the Ring, that was always the storyline. If you become King of the Ring, you're next up. That's the next
Right.
superstar. But these tournaments, the World Cup tournament is literally a way for ad money for Fox. So to advertise the World
Which
Cup.
is not bad, but then you get whoever. So my thing is with a tournament, it always has like something has to be the end game. So when WWE is doing their World Cup thing, the end game is whoever wins is facing Gunther for the IC title because right now they've literally elevated both mid card titles to being some type of prestigious
Exactly.
titles again.
Exactly.
So,
But
but to
it's not. But think about it, we all know Gunther's gonna win.
but do
So
we though? We don't know who's
we
gonna
don't
win the
know. We
tournament.
don't know. We don't know.
If Braun Strowman wins this tournament, will Gunther still be IC champion?
Yes.
Okay.
But the thing about it is,
Yes.
like you said that how that nobody cares about tournaments. So why do the most ratings come from the NBA playoffs? Playoffs in general. Some of the higher ratings come during the playoffs of any sport.
That's
Hold on,
apples and oranges.
I'm not finished.
That's apples and
I'm
oranges.
not finished.
That's
I'm
apples
not
and
finished
that's
though.
apples and
But
oranges.
let me finish. Let me finish. I'll let you talk. Nobody will care about none of the games into the big games of the NBA playoffs. None of that, according to you. Now, and now in sports, and now in wrestling, you talk about people don't care about tournaments. You talk about people are fiending for the Mae Young Classic to come back, the Cruiserweight Classic to come back. Like, what are you talking about? And how many times they had great tournaments for the U.S. Championship tournament, for the IC for the IC tournament? How many times they recrown people? For the tag team tournament to crown like new champion. Nobody cares about it, right? SmackDown titles. Heath Slater Rhino. That storyline. People don't care about tournaments. It's wrestling. It's combat theater. You easily can put storylines into this. And them having this, you looking at it as like it's the best way to display talent, the fastest way. Hey, you may not know Lance Archer, Lance Archer, Ricky Starks. You display two talents right there. So the fact that you said nobody care about any tournament, you shouldn't be talking because Hog has a tournament to crown a new champion, and people came to every event to watch this. People care
No,
about
they
it. You
did.
put good
No, they did not.
characters.
So let me explain this. Let me answer your question. So first things first, you said about NBA finals and nobody cares about tournaments. The reason why people care about NBA playoffs because they do what wrestling does. They make it into storylines. Your HC versus the number one seed. Like literally, sports has taken WWE's formula. They inject storylines into all of their playoff games.
I mean, but that actually, you know who does it? Football, NFL does a really good job the whole season.
They all inject storylines to make you
They do it
care
the whole
about it.
season though.
To make you care about it. Now, and then we'll continue. We'll continue on. You're just putting matches together. Now, when it came to Hog did one match, or sometimes two matches that were part of a tournament to need something else. Because even he told me, he's like, a lot of times people don't pay attention to tournaments, especially on the independent scene.
It's harder on. I will say it is harder on
Yeah,
the
the
indies because
independent scene.
because you may come for one show, you may not come for the other, then you miss out. But the issue, so I think, and you guys were just telling me who you think is going to win, and then we'll move on. But I think the issue with this eliminator tournament is they do it so many times to where it
I
doesn't
agree.
have
I
that
agree.
feeling
I agree.
of it being important. It just feels like we're just once again going to put 8 people on TV here and there, and then give them a random ass title shot. Because listen, when I met Ricky Starks last weekend, the first thing I told him before I said I'll be right back, I told him, I said, if you don't win this tournament, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah,
And then when I
yeah.
thought about it, I was like, I actually now rather him not win because then you're gonna get some stinky ass with 2-3 weeks of something to then still lose to MJF because he just won the title. So it's always it goes back to what Sir Wilkins has said about it being bad booking because you can't crown your champion, then 3 weeks later give him a random ass opponent with no storyline, no purpose, and then have people invested in it. And I think that's the growing pains that AEW has to figure out is how do we keep this a little bit longer instead of keeping it every 3-4 weeks of something or barely even that. So once again, out of the four, I really don't even know why Brian Cage is even
Wait, wait,
in
wait,
that
wait, wait, wait,
tournament.
wait, 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 wait. I think that just to pause on, I think that it wasn't by design that had so many tournaments because too many people getting injured. Punk got injured.
That's a choice.
No,
That
no,
was a
no, no, no,
choice.
no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I feel like how that we really got fatigued so much because Punk got injured. Punk with the whole title situation, Punk and stuff like that. So I guess because they did it before, they didn't do it so much before. But now with the whole interim idea, they ran into the ground. Once they
Oh, that
became
interim shit is
champions,
trash.
yeah, it
And
messed it
and
up.
I'm gonna tell you,
It
and I'm
messed
gonna
it up.
tell you
Yeah.
why when we get to this Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter match because they are doing my girl Jamie Hayter all type of wrong for doing this match. But so once again, the finals of the eliminated tournament will be at Full Gear. Real quick, for the I don't even know why ROH World Title match is a fatal 4-way. I don't even know why. You got Jericho, you got Daniel Bryan, you got Cesaro, you got Sammy Guevara, who actually tonight they just did a tag team match against each other. I don't understand.
WWE does
Where
that before.
Cesaro,
That ain't new. They do it all the time.
yeah,
They do all the time.
but then it's like so Jericho. Spoiler alert: Jericho ended up tapping when Cesaro put him in the walls. Y'all already know how I feel about if the champion loses before the actual match, he's still gonna be champion. So I don't know what they doing. Um, but you have the fatal 4-way for the ROH title. I don't know if they're gonna make it official, but they had a segment with Samoa Joe, and then Will Hobbs came out, and then and then Warlow came out. So I don't know if they're gonna do something with Full Gear for that, but stay
They
tuned for
are. They
that.
are. They are. They are. They are. Like it's a triple threat.
Your boy Darby Allen. I always kind of like the video montages they do. I just honestly, I'm at the point where I do feel like Sting is holding Darby back. So I'm at that point. But they're gonna do Darby and Sting because that's the only way Sting will wrestle in a tag match. Smart versus Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal at Full Gear. I'm not gonna hold you. It almost made me want to buy a ticket. I was close. I was like, I want to see Jack. But do you think it's too soon
What?
for this match to even happen? Jeff Jarrett hasn't even been in the company 2 weeks, and he already got a match. Um,
Honestly, they got to sell tickets at this point. And
They
I think
desperate
that
right now.
again, yeah,
yo, they sent out Danny had got an email about there's two tickets left. I was like, what? And then he was on some interview talking about they almost at the million mark, and I was just like, what? What are we doing? All right. So they have that tag team match. But I think it's time Darby let's go pop Sting because I think it's time Darby really goes on his own and really,
dang, son, y'all
go
don't
for
even know
some
unity in
goal.
wrestling, man. That's they want niggas to betray each other, dog. What's wrong
I'm
with
not even
y'all?
saying, but I never. First of all, I never said anything about portrayal. I just said that I think it's time for Darby to be on his own. I never said nothing about betrayal now.
That's why the hurt business is not a business no more. People like y'all.
But do you not feel like it's time for Darby to fly on his own?
I
And
feel like
do
And you the
Sting
number
can do it
one
better.
Darby. You the number one
Nah,
Darby Allison.
and
I
do
felt
what?
that Sting, like, like I feel like Sting was not holding. It's just, I think about it. Darby was still winning matches with without Sting. He won championship with Sting. It's not like
But now he
nothing takes
hasn't.
away
He's
from
done
him.
nothing but lose.
That's not
So
Sting's fault.
And
That's
do
not Sting's
what
fault.
after? They're not doing
I'm
anything
not
with
saying
Darby.
it's Sting's fault. I first of all, I love me some Steve, so don't even get me started.
But they're not
What I'm
doing
saying,
they're not doing
but
anything with Darby.
but that's my point. That's my problem. It's like
Yo,
you
honestly,
talk about all the pillars, you talk about those who've been with the company from day one, and honestly, Darby hasn't moved the needle in the last year. And I'm not saying it's Sting fault. I'm not saying it's Darby fault. I'm just saying as a fan because I want everybody always says that I hate AEW blah blah blah. I don't like things that are done just like in any other company, but Darby for the most part I definitely they need to really do something with him because he hasn't been doing anything. You have
I agree.
Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy in a steel cage match.
Jungle Boy's gonna win.
Jungle Boy.
Okay, and then you have Jade versus Nyla for the TBS. I just love that they had TBS champion quotations under Nyla.
I'm
But
with you. I like Jade, but if she wins, it's not gonna be like you know what it is. If she wins, it'd be like, all right, like there's no sense. Like at this point, and it's not to Jade's fault. A title is stale. It's like did I do nothing right with her at this point?
what do you
It's
think?
stale.
So, question: which match was like the plateau? Like, what was the top for her? Like, what
She
was the
never
one
had
match? What
it.
was?
Willow,
Oh,
Willow. When she beat Willow the
okay.
second time, it was just like ah,
But
there's no
that's all
point.
her matches. In
No.
my
But
I feel
opinion,
like Willow was like the peak because, like you said, it was all matches. I think Sophie was behind Willow at this point, and she lost. The whole momentum was just like, I don't care for this title no more because it's just like
I think
their matches
Willow
are the
definitely made
same.
her look good. I will say that
Yeah,
Willow made her look good. But I will say that, and as I've been said, they've put Jade in a box and can't get out of it. So, in all
yeah.
honesty, if Nyla doesn't win, then I'm not.
I tapped
it
out
is
for
what
the
it is.
title.
Yeah, like I've checked
I
out.
tapped out.
So,
I'm good. I'm good. Like
um,
most likely, like during that match, like this is I'll be real with you. If Jade wins, I'm not gonna watch any more of her matches because they don't interest me no more. It's the same shit. Like she's like it's just like, boy, what are you doing? It's just boring. It's not entertaining. And like at least with Goldberg matches, he did it in a quicker fashion. It was just like and Jade is just like you talk the same shit. You do the same. It's just I don't know what it is. It's just not.
I definitely
I
told
don't
Tony
know.
Schiavone when I met him, I was like, you need to tell Jade she gotta cut her shit though. And he laughed. He's so nice.
He smells good.
But
He smell like coffee.
no, I mean he didn't smell bad. I'm not smelling the man. The fuck?
Wait. I have a question. Did Undertaker
Go ahead.
smell like old people and death?
No, he did not.
Oh, thank
Yo,
you.
did you? I gotta sing out a clip. This is
I'm
how they
sorry.
humanize Undertaker. They got that tortilla challenge shit that they had. They've been that was like going on. So him and
Yeah.
Michelle McCool did it. He smacked the fuck out of her. Smacked the dog piss out of her with that tortilla. I gotta send that to y'all. It was like whoa. Speaking about
Yo, it's
Taker
on the
real quick.
Yo,
Speaking about Taker
if
real
a black
quick.
man had done that, it would have been a different story.
But it was his wife, so well, still, regardless if a
What
black
the
man did it,
fuck?
his wife. But it's a
Sorry.
tortilla challenge. What can you do? You know what you
So you
signed
slap your
yourself up
wife
for.
with tortilla? So
Yo, but what
that's
if she smacked the shit out of you?
so that's your question.
Let's finish this.
So that's your question. No. So I said that if Mikey slapped you the tortilla challenge,
Mikey
it's
wouldn't even get
justified.
close to. First of all, I'm not even doing that. Wouldn't even get close to even talking about fucking tortillas. So no. Moving on. The Acclaim, which if you haven't watched on tonight's Dynamite came out with a new music video that they recorded apparently at Atlantic City.
It's
But it
fire.
was I thought it was a nice little bop. I don't know. They missed the mark with him and Swerve having a rap battle. That could have been a thing. When he did the music video, I was just like, yo, they missed that mark. Cause him and the two of them would have went. They could have really went at it. But
But he's better
you
than
have the
Swerve on the mic,
Acclaim.
though.
Whatever. You have Acclaim versus Swerve in Our Glory.
So you say that Swerve? So you say Swerve's better than him on the mic?
No, I'm not saying that.
Better. He freestyles better.
Yeah, like he got bars, but I mean, regardless, I like Max Caster better, so it's okay.
Nobody is coming to an entrance that's done by Swerve Strickland. The main event was an entrance by Matt Caster. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Will we see the turn of Shane finally going against Keith?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keith Lee versus Shane. I think that's gonna elevate them within the company. That two fueling each other will definitely elevate their style. I want to see that match now. Swerve versus Shane Strickland. Yes. I mean Swerve versus Keith.
So okay, we got the last two, and then I got one last question, and then we'll sign off. We have Brent Baker versus Soraya, formerly known as Paige. Paige's in-ring return is happening this Saturday at Full Gear. I don't know if I would have pulled the trigger on this match right now. I don't. Yeah. But what are your thoughts? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, Britt can't lose. Like I don't know.
What's your question?
That's a terrible decision.
But why does Britt gain exactly to lose?
But my thing is that you have Paige come back. You could have built it up a little bit. I feel like he pulled the trigger too fast. And I do feel like if Paige beats her, then like it hurts the credibility of Britt being like, I am the women's division of AEW. Like this is like I've built this house. So her losing looks real sus. So I don't know. I think the match I think they should have waited until next year to do the match. I don't think it should have happened right now. But
when? Because pay-per-views a year.
No, I know. So what I would have did instead of giving Jamie Hayter, and that's the other match I want to talk about, instead of giving Jamie Hayter this low-key fake-ass women's interim title match, instead of giving her the real women's title match, that's neither here nor there. I would have did the tag match with Hayter and Britt and had Paige's first match be a tag match back so that she could still feel herself in the ring and get used to that feeling again.
How about
and then
on the pay-per-view?
Well, that could be a thing too. But then I would have maybe did. I would have did then Britt and Paige at was that Revolution that day February pay-per-view? I'd have did it maybe then. Either there or Double or Nothing.
Do I feel like I agree with you? I agree with you. Like, do I think that Brent will lose credibility? No. It's something called, if you're a good enough wrestler, you can recover from anything. No. If that's the case, Triple H had never lost to HBK at SummerSlam that year. But he did. Because it makes sense for the storyline.
Because HBK was just coming back.
Exactly.
But Triple H wasn't the face of a women's division that already is lackluster.
Triple H was in the middle of his reign of terror during that time. What
he was on his reign of terror.
Like he was in start of his reign of terror on. Like he was one of the top.
Listen, I don't agree. I don't agree. That's okay.
Her losing does not do nothing for her credibility. Her losing, she lost. That's it. She can recover because Todd likes her. He'll give a good booking. So I'm not worried about that. You could I would say this. Anything beats a loss with good booking. Look at Austin Theory. He lost the Money in Batch, and what did Triple H do? Book them right. Simple. And it makes sense. But do I agree that her first match should have been a tag team match? 1,001%. Because you should have saved that for the next pay-per-view next year. That could be one of the headlines. hey, Soraya versus what's name, a return match, and then that would have been better. I agree with you. It should have been a tag team match. It should have been. I agree with you. Like it is too soon. But Brent Baker losing, no, it won't do nothing. It won't hurt her. Good, like it won't hurt her.
I
No.
think it will.
Like for example, Will Hobbs when he lost to CM Punk, it didn't hurt him. He actually gained a little more stock because he was in the title picture. He did good stuff after that. It's all about your booking after.
The
That's
good
it.
stuff after that. What else after Will when he lost to CM Punk did he do?
He started getting more and more TV with Ricky Starks. Like it definitely helped his stock. It did. It
What
helped him. Like
what
he was
what
he was on a rising stock, but it didn't decrease him. He was still on TV. They still was mentioning him because of good booking.
see, but you using that's a those are two different instances though, because you literally have you're talking about Will who's up and coming, been doing his thing, and that's great. That's fine. I love him. He knows that. But you're literally talking about somebody that carried their women's division on their back for 3 years. To then just
I
have the
understand
ex
that.
to have the ex WWE person come in and beat her.
Stop looking at WWE person and just look at somebody who
But
can
that's what
wrestle.
it is. That's what it is.
No. It's just like that's not. It's like saying like this way, right? It's like, hey, you work at iPhone, and one of the top executives from Samsung get fired. iPhone want to pick him up, like, hey, let's pick him up. He's a good pickup. They don't worry about where he freaking works at. It doesn't matter. At the
But
end
you're
of the day,
you're
it's
you're
good
saying
booking.
your comparison to Samsung being the better pickup. Paige hasn't wrestled in over what 5 years.
And that's what happened with Triple H. H.B.K. didn't wrestle for mad long, and he won.
So this is
What about this? Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold won. And what happened to Kevin Owens? Nothing happened to him bad because of good booking after. It does not matter. Oh,
Go ahead, Sir
how
Wilkins.
about this? How about this?
so
How about this? How about this? Bret Hart, who hasn't wrestled in mad long, beat the bitch for the
Your
first time.
your examples, your comparisons are still not going to hit me the same way you want them to, because you literally have someone that carried a division and created her name in that company to then lose to someone that hasn't been in the company for even two months.
so this is my thing.
But it's okay.
So this is my thing, and
You forget that
my
Paige been
brother has
wrestling forever longer than Paige. I mean, longer
no.
than
But
Brent
the
Baker.
thing is,
That's
the
fine.
thing is,
Experience.
my whole thing with Paige coming in, I wouldn't mind her winning if she was facing a good wrestler, because the match is gonna be shitty. And I'm gonna say that off the rip. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but the match is gonna be absolute shits. Because Britt Baker can't carry nobody in a match. And Paige is not. She just got back to wrestling, and I don't think she can put on a banger match. She wasn't putting on banger matches before. And I know everybody in the comments are all gonna be like, "No, yeah, she did. She did it one time." Because you always bring up that one time.
Emma.
You always bring up that one time.
And Emma made Ronda look so good 2 weeks on that SmackDown.
I'm weak.
Baby, I just had to put that out there. Emma Kim's coming back and doing that open challenge with Ronda. She made Ronda look like a star. But continue.
They always mention that one match, Emma match. They always mention that match. Always.
But that's my biggest issue with this match coming up, because, yeah, I see what they're trying to do. Britt Baker being that the face of the face of the women's division. And Paige is trying to take her spot. So it's good. It's good that way. But when you're trying to elevate a division in more ways than one, you need good matches. And that match is not going to show this is the best of the women's division. And that's my biggest issue, because that match is absolutely going to be the shits. And everybody's going to say, call me a dickhead. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but that match is absolutely going to be fucking horrible.
I'm just going to pray that Britt...
You don't know shit, so Wilkins.
I just don't want Britt to bleed. That's all I'm asking, Britt.
Britt's going to bleed. what's gonna
Don't
happen.
bleed, girl.
Britt's going to bleed. Paige is going to be out of breath and is going to be blown up because she just got back. And anybody that's been in the ring, that's been in a match, about an actual match, I don't care if that shit's 5 minutes, I don't care if that shit's 10 minutes. That shit will blow you up, especially if you haven't wrestled in a match. Wrestling is not the same thing as being on a cardio machine. So I wish them luck.
I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna
I think
pray.
this is going to be a complete train wreck. I hope they prove me wrong. But that match is going to be the absolute shits.
All right, last but not least, Jonathan Moxley versus
MJF.
Maxwell
MJF.
Jacob Freeman for the
Go home,
AEW World
Moxley.
title.
Go home,
You said what?
Moxley.
I don't think MJF is winning.
So I think Williams gonna help him win.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Regal's gonna help him win. Because he's
And-
going so hard on the I can do this myself. I don't need anybody. I don't need my ring. I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm the devil. Like, listen. The ending credit should be MJF hand being raised by William Regal.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's creepy that he calls himself the devil and you want people to worship him. Like, no.
It's pretty weird.
I mean, it was like when Bray was like, follow the buzzards. That was like weird.
Nah, but the buzzard's kind of like.
Nah, that shit was weird. That shit was wild.
So you're saying this? You rather someone say worship him like the devil than someone say follow the buzzer?
They both sound weird. Like I couldn't do neither one.
The buzzer is just like follow the buzzer is like, yo, when he comes around, light your light. Which that makes sense. Like that's no demonic.
Well, he's the bad guy, so he's the devil. So that makes sense. Like
no.
That's how he represents himself. He's the bad guy in the story that everybody needs in their story because he does it so well.
But that's any story you need to approach a antagonist. That's any story.
Right? He's just labeling himself as the devil. That's just what that is. But anyway, last question, and then we'll wrap up. Shit is wild. Last question. Who has AEW dropped the ball on the most and why?
Darby Allin.
Why?
He's not doing anything anymore. Darby Allin is supposed to be one of the biggest pillars of that company. He was over as fuck. And right now he's just in obscurity and hanging around with Sting.
Mr.
Black.
Meryl.
Why? Okay.
Because again, let me break this down to you. My son Meryl came in the company hungry. He was starving. Darby Allin. I know somebody smacked for the TNT title. Whooped his ass. The streak he was going on. He lost the title. I said, all right, cool. He put on bag of matches, and now, where is he? You put all that investment into him. You did all of that. He got a custom title, Tony. Where was that? And I feel like that's fucked up in my eyes because this man put on classics for you during your early stages of your company during the pandemic. And you don't see nothing of him. I don't hear nothing of him. Like that's like to me, that's like an insult to me. Like you dropped the ball on somebody that WWE dropped the ball on him. You gave him a platform. That's it.
Okay, I actually low-key have two. First one is Warlord, and I know everybody's gonna be like, but he's the champion. But he has no type of like title reign, rivalry. He's been hanging with Samoa Joe, who was a different company's champion, and they were tag teaming and had shirts, and then Joe snuck up on them last week. Warlord hasn't been in anything hot since the MJF thing, and that's a problem. And the other one for me is Ricky Starks, and I told him that in his face. I said how they treated you since Cody left is fucked up, and that's why. I'll tell y'all later. He said some other shit. He says, yo, Ricky Starks said some shit that I wish we could interview him low key because he was talking some real shit. But I tell ya, off camera.
Well, so let's end the
Like-
show then, so we can get this behind the scenes interview.
This
Behind the
team,
scenes show.
it's nothing crazy though, I promise. But Ricky he's a really good soul, and he really, him coming through the NWA and getting that spotlight and that recognition, and then now being on AEW. I really thought, more would have come from that. Him being the FTW champion really didn't really mean nothing really. Him in this eliminator tournament thing, and then let's say if he wins, then he goes against MJF and then loses. It's like, bro, like I want something meaningful for him, and really for anybody, to be honest.
I think that not just shit on Ricky Stark, nothing like that. It's not no knock on him. I feel like he should go to Impact, dominate, and basically show everybody like, yo, this is how you use him. Because I think that you go to any company, WWE, New Japan, he will be a star. Because he got the look. He got the in-ring ability. The selling is on point. He's a total package. And they playing with him that he's not Atlantic champion, some kind of champion. That's an insult what they did in Team Taz. What they did Team Taz, Pride and Powerful, what they did to those tag teams in the beginning, fuck you, Tony Khan. Fuck you and suck my dick.
And that's intense. But on that note, and Ricky Starks identifies as a black man, so woot woot to him. Once again, this week, Saturday, Full Gear. If you're not going to be in Jersey, come hang out with us out in New York City, Manhattan at Legends Bar. Make sure to RSVP for that. Next week, we will be doing a special, once again, Wednesday edition of the Jobbertears podcast due to Thanksgiving. We want to give everybody time with their family and loved ones on Thanksgiving, so we will do our banter the day before. And then we got our last few weeks of the year coming up, so we want to just be able to give you guys content and also do a really good this year review, preparing for 2023 and all of that jazz. But once again, I'm Janelle from HR here with our representative Mr. Black, hashtag Black Excellence, hashtag we are out.
Got the hands in motion, if you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans, you gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.